Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Nick's Toy Box. Today we're looking at Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Sideshow exclusive, Hot Toys, Spider-Punk. This one I've been really excited to get my hands on. Ever since I saw the film, I saw him, good old Hobie, and I was like, man, if they make a Hot Toys of him, really need to get my hands on him. Lo and behold, they had announced him, immediate pre-order, and now here we are some time later, and we got him in hand. Following along the trend here that we're seeing from this movie line, these boxes are so loud, which really fits the movie, definitely fits this character. But overall, I don't really care about the boxes all that much, but this is such a cool looking box. Like the shimmer, the glimmer, the comic book detailing here, all these crazy fonts, and his like lightning bolts from the guitar, everything like that really makes this really, really cool to look at. I don't have my boxes displayed, they're stored away in my closet. But if you're one who likes to maybe have the box behind your character, or maybe you have them somewhere, these are definitely gonna grab people's attention because the way that it pops. Really love it. I love how you have his Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man spider logo etched on the sides. Love the font they chose for his name. I love how you have him like swinging his guitar on the front of the box. It's absolutely awesome. But as you know, I don't like to like waste too much time on the boxes. Kind of like to get into the figure and the accessories. So without further ado, let's start cracking them open. While staying on the trend, we also have the same trend here for the plastic display here. Whenever you can kind of see through the panel, it looks like a portal, and we still have this kind of same blue um, design lines over the red box. I think it's a really cool look. It kind of does match what you remember from the movies Spider Base that Spider-Man 2099 leads. I do love this back here where you have some action poses of the actual figure himself. If you want to push pause and read that right there, a little what you know about Hobie here. But without further ado, let's go and start cracking this thing open and get into the inside of it. We are not hurting for accessories here between the really cool back stand that we've gotten for like all these figures from this line, which we will dive into here soon, I promise. But even besides that, we have so much accessories, which I mean, I love for these prices that we're getting on these figures. You want a good amount of accessories, and this one is not lacking. We have the alternative head sculpt, we have the special edition accessory, we have his guitar, we have an awesome ensemble of hands, and of course, we have his typical stand, webs, and like I said, the cool back stand. We're really not hurting here, which is really freaking awesome. Um, a little side note that I want to talk about is we do have a little pick. I actually lost mine and had to find it. It's in that little tiny hole right there, itty bitty, super small. Please keep an eye on it so you don't lose it. But let's go ahead and get this cool display set up so we can talk about it real quick. The base itself, standard. You have the little hexagon base. Really love his logo etched on there. You have like the logos and stuff nice and glossy with the back being kind of textured. We do have an extra long flight pole, which has kind of been some of the trend for some of these figures. He is taller, so definitely is needed, but also for some of the action poses for a bigger figure, it is needed. Well, yeah, so, and with him being a cloth figure, which we'll go into, it is nice. It doesn't pinch. I love his background a lot more than the Spider-Man 2099, and I think more than Miles, though I don't have that one in hand yet. I love this. I love how it matches him. Like you see all of his like cool textures and stuff from the film, and it's got some stuff that you would hear Hobie say. It's really funny seeing it on a product, saying that we are buying and doing all that kind of stuff. It's really funny. It's kind of ironic. But anyways, I really love it. I love the three-piece system, so you can, box it around them, or you can customize it however you really want. It really adds an extra layer to your display if you actually display them individually. It's really cool. This is the special edition piece that you got, which is the little box for his homemade dimensional watch that he gives to Gwen at the end of the movie. It does come with a little sticker that you can peel off and slap on the device itself, and it says, in case it doesn't all work out, which is actually from the film. I agree with other people when I've seen online. I don't know how I feel about it being a sticker because it kind of feels like limited time use. However, you can see I have the pick in there because I didn't want to lose it. That's just a funny little side note. I went ahead and slapped the sticker on mine, which I don't know if I show it here, but I just went ahead and did it just because it completes the look for me. I'm not really ever going to use it, but there it is. There's the itty bitty little sticker. Um, I can really appreciate getting it for the amount of detail it is. It's really sweet. I just don't know how I feel about a sticker. You let me know how you feel about it. This is really cool though. Really cool inclusion. But even if you didn't get the exclusive that comes with the box and the watch, you're still not hurting for accessories. So don't worry. I'll get this stuff moved out of the way. Before I forget to say, I love the detail of that little watch in the box. It is really cool, really nice and detailed. Absolutely love it. But let's go over our normal accessories now. First things first, itty bitty little pig. It is really awesome inclusion. I kind of wish it would have just came in a hand that like had it molded into it, because it feels like just we're waiting to lose it. We get our normal ensemble here of webs, nicely painted, textured. You got the, some of the lines popping off here and there to add some uniqueness to it. Pretty standard. I don't really see myself using them for Hobie, but of course, it would be like riot in the streets if we get a Spider-Man with no webs. So it is a nice inclusion, of course. I'm always going to be upset that we're starting to get cheaped out on from Hot Toys by getting fist hands that also count as like web grabbing hands. But I'm not going to die on that hill today. We're just going to keep it pushing. We get the pointy web and we get the bulbed head, which is really, really cool. We get his actual normal watch from the film. It doesn't actually open up like the Spider-Man 2099 one does, but still nicely painted and detailed and a nice inclusion. We get his freaking awesome guitar with actual like strings that you can pluck for your heart's desired. We get a nice actual like nylon strap for the guitar. I love the amount of detail on this thing. They really don't skimp. I love the crazy strings, on the end there, like hastily put together. Absolutely love this thing. I love the detailing on the back too. They really didn't like cut any corners on this thing, which is absolutely awesome. It also comes with an effect that can pop it on the back, which kind of gives it like that effect we see in the film whenever I don't want to say he glitches, but he has like his theme stuff kind of going around him. And it slides in really easy with these two little like pegs that go from this little plastic piece onto the back, which I'll show you here in a second. You also get the really cool inclusion of some of these like lightning bolts, and I think one of them has his name on it, like Spider-Punk. It's really cool. I really like it. It levels up the way that this displays, which is always appreciated for, a 1/6 scale figure. Like I was saying, it's really easy to actually snap all this together and snap it onto the guitar, which I'll show you here in a second. I think my original orientation for these bolts and everything were kind of wrong. I didn't look at the actual instructions for this. Kind of just flying by the seams of my pants. But anyways, I'll show you how you attach it to the guitar. Like I said, it's fairly simple. You just want to be careful not to bend those plastic things too hard to avoid them like snapping. Just because it is a seam line, so that is going to be an inevitable threat if you continuously bend them back and forth. Wear and tear, natural. It's going to happen. So I'm just throwing that out there. But there it is when it's on. Like I said, I don't think I had it all fully oriented correctly, but it does look really cool. And I like how there's a gap between it, so it really adds some depth to it. It's really an awesome inclusion. Way to go, Hot Toys. Give us more like that. We got the little tool here to move his eyes, which we'll get to later. And we got to go to his mask sculpt. Really freaking cool. I love, the mohawk spikes, and they're nice and bendy, so you don't have to worry about them being super like tough or anything like that. One of mine did pop off and I had to go back and re-glue it, so just keep that in mind. I don't know if that was just like a weird case with my not having enough of the paint on itself, but just keep that in mind. It's painted really awesome, but I think the other head sculpt is going to be the one everybody wants. We get some really cool hands, but I gotta get on my gripe box here and say, why can't we get pairs? We get cool tooth ripping hands, but a lot of the other hands I would have loved to see getting some pairs. Typical standard thing here, you get the alternative piece with the little plug hole for the webs, so that way you can choose to have the actual hole showing or not showing. Fist hand, grabbing hand, I don't know why we don't get a full set. I'm going to scratch my head about it a little bit. But enough about all that right now. Let's go ahead and get him out on my turntable. He is a tall dude. You see me readjust my camera a bit just because of how tall he is, which is awesome because it's movie accurate, which is what we want. His red on his cloth is so vibrant. It really pops. which is just awesome. It's a chef's kiss. I absolutely love this figure, minus some of my complaints of like the hands and stuff. Overall, this is a really impressive figure. That head sculpt, absolutely phenomenal. There is no other way to display him. I'm sorry. If you're a masked guy, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. Speaking of the head sculpt, let's dive into it here. Love the paint job. I love the hair. It stands out so much. You know, there's no way that fits under a mask. But come on, look at this thing. This is so freaking cool. All the piercings, everything is just so freaking awesome. And like I said, you got separate moving eyeballs, which should just be the standard going forward forever for Hot Toys. This thing is freaking awesome. The likeness to the movie is perfect. I really think it's perfect. You get really good articulation, full up, full down. He even has some of that neck articulation that works with it. So you have zero issues. Even like they have a nice little gap on the sides with those shoulder spikes, so he can swivel his head. You get awesome T-pose. And like I said, this dude is cloth. So posing him is like super fun, super easy. You don't have to worry about seam lines, which I mean, I think we can like all appreciate that, especially for a character as expressive as Spider-Punk. It's awesome. You get your full degree bends here, no issues. He has amazing back ab crunch and forward ab crunch. There is no issues here on articulation, which is freaking awesome, right? That's what you want. It's just legit. You get that awesome right there up at the hips for the higher up on his legs. You get the full bend on his knee. And they even have articulation inside of this boot for the ankles, which I was worried about, but it is doable. So once again, hats off to you, Hot Toys. Awesome side to side swivel. Everything you think of, it's done perfectly. Moving eyeballs, we can do it. It's really simple. So with the head sculpt off, you can see the two separate things there. You have this little attachment. You just pop it in there and you can adjust the eyes. Really easy to do. You can probably even do it with your fingers if you chose. This really just helps lock it in for you. Love it. Love the inclusion of it. But yeah, I mean, I also freaking love the inclusion of separate eyeballs. Really awesome. Thank you, Hot Toys, for continuously giving this to us. It really just levels up your display. We got to show them with the other head sculpt on. It does look really good. Don't get me wrong. We'll dive into some other stuff, though, too. Of course, like the jacket and the studs, the detail, everything is immaculate. Absolutely love it. Man, I love these cloth goods. It feels really nice. It has a lot of give to it. I just love the inclusion of like all these like stickers and badges and pins that we see in the movie all over his suit. It really just makes this thing feel very unique. I love the splatter paint all over it of him painting it himself and these studs that seem very DIY. Love it. The patches on the pants. I love his straps like dangling off the pants. Everything about this dude is just like freaking awesome. I love it. It really screams punk, which is perfect. They really didn't like go a cheap route and just like give us like the general gestures of this. They really gave it to us. The boots, freaking awesome. The paint detailing, everything. I think as far as the figure itself and the paint applications and everything, it's just freaking awesome. This head sculpt is still freaking awesome as well. Don't get me wrong. I just really like the actual unmasked Toby. Of course, we got to do some posing. I didn't go like super crazy on some of these poses. You can, don't get me wrong. I tend not to sometimes. I don't know why. Maybe it's just laziness. But regardless of that, loads of fun to play with and pose between the masked and unmasked. But really, this guitar, it just flows so well with this figure. It really just levels up what you can do with them. This right here is like one of my favorite looks. I actually have them displayed really similar like this on my stand, which is awesome. You got to do some mast and webbing. Like I said, I don't personally care for it, but there are people out there who I'm sure do appreciate it. So it's cool. You can do some really cool swing poses. I got real lazy on mine. Sorry. I'll try to get better about it. But you can do so much with this dude. He's really loads of fun. And I think with that, though, we're kind of getting to the end here. Let me know what you think about this guy. If it's somebody that you're wanting to get, If you're going to pass on them, love them, hate them, give me your thoughts and opinions, please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Ring the notification bell. You know the words. So do I. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch. Let me know if there's anybody you want me to get my hands on and do a review of, or any improvements you want me to make on my channel. But as always, this is Nick's Toy Box. I really appreciate you watching. And until next time, I'll see you.